You know, every company out there has a story to tell. A story of its wins, its losses, its risks, and its opportunities. But here's the thing. This story isn't written in words. It's written in numbers. So today, we're going to learn the language. We're going to decode that story by digging into financial statements. Okay, let's just jump right in with this, because this quote, it perfectly captures what we're about to do. We're going to stop seeing these reports as just, I don't know, boring lists of figures. Instead, we're going to put on our detective hats and start looking for the clues that reveal what's really going on inside a business. So, this whole story is told through three key documents. Think of them as our case files. You've got the balance sheet, which is a snapshot of right now. Then there's the income statement, which tells us how the company performed over time. And finally, the cash flow statement, which, and this is crucial, tracks where the actual money went. All right, let's start with our first piece of evidence, the balance sheet. The best way to think about this is like a financial photograph. It's a single snapshot of everything a company owns and everything it owes at one specific moment in time. Now, at the very heart of the balance sheet is this fundamental equation. Seriously, this is like the law of financial physics. It says that everything a company owns, its assets, had to be paid for somehow, right? Well, it's either with borrowed money, that's liabilities, or with money from its owners, and that's equity. It always has to balance.
And honestly, the logic here is way simpler than it sounds. A company's balance sheet works in the exact same way as your own personal finances. I mean, think about it. If you sold everything you own and then you paid off all your debts, whatever's left over, that's your net worth. For a company, that same idea is just called equity. See? Simple.
And check this out. This is a brilliant look at how accountants think about time. Everything gets sorted into two big buckets. Current, which means it's all about the next 12 months, and non-current, which is for everything longer term. This simple split really helps us separate a company's immediate health from its long-term game plan. Okay, our second piece of evidence is the income statement. Some people call it the P&L for profit and loss. Now, if the balance sheet was a snapshot, think of this as a video. It shows the company's financial performance over a period of time, like for a quarter or a whole year. The really crucial thing to get here is the flow, right? We start at the very top with total sales, which is called revenue. Then we start subtracting all the costs and all the expenses, piece by piece, until we finally get to the final profit, the net income, at the very bottom. That journey from the top line to the bottom line tells you exactly how profitable the business really is. And now for the ultimate reality check, the cash flow statement. This one is almost always a CFO's favorite, and that's because it cuts through all the complex accounting rules and just follows the money. It tracks the real, actual cash moving into and out of the company's bank accounts. You know, there's a famous saying in finance, profit is an opinion, but cash is a fact. And it's so true. A company can look super profitable on its income statement because it made a huge sale. But if the customer hasn't paid the bill yet, there's no cash. A business can literally be profitable on paper and still go bankrupt because it ran out of actual cash to pay its bills. Cash really is king. So we trace the cash through three key activities. First up is operating. Think of this as the engine room. Is the main day-to-day business actually bringing in more cash than it's spending? Second, investing. This gives us a peek at the future. Is it spending cash on things like new factories or technology to grow? And third, financing. This shows us how the company is funding itself. Is it getting money from loans and investors, or is it paying them back? The answers here tell a massive part of the company's story. Okay, now for the aha moment. This is where we, as financial detectives, stop looking at these statements one by one. We're going to connect the clues from each of them using these simple tools called financial ratios to see the real story. Let's put our new skills to the test. Let's imagine a company, we'll call it Tech Gadgets Incorporated. Our first question as detectives is all about its short-term health. Can this company pay its immediate bills? So, we pull our first clues from the balance sheet. As you can see, Tech Gadgets has $1 million in current assets. That's stuff it can turn into cash within a year. And it owes $350,000 in current liabilities. Those are the bills it has to pay in that same time frame. To figure out what these clues mean, we use a simple but really powerful tool called the current ratio. And just like the name says, we just divide the current assets by the current liabilities. And the answer we get is 2.86. Now, any ratio above 1 is generally considered pretty safe, so 2.86 is a very strong result. It tells us that for every $1 of bills coming due, Tech Gadgets has $2.86 in assets ready to cover it. On the flip side, if this number was below 1, that would be a huge red flag. It would mean they might not have enough cash to pay their bills. All right, now let's zoom out a bit and investigate the company's long-term risk. Our next question is, just how much is this company relying on debt to fund its growth? We go right back to the balance sheet for our clues. We can see the company's total liabilities are $1.2 million, and the value that belongs to its owners, the total equity, is $1.8 million. The tool we use for this investigation is called the debt-to-equity ratio. This basically tells us how the company is financing itself. Is it using more debt, or is it using more of the owner's own money? And the result is 0.67. So what does that mean? It means that for every dollar of the owner's money in the business, the company has only borrowed 67 cents. That's a pretty conservative, low-risk way to run a business. A really high ratio, like say over 2.0, might tell us a company is taking on a lot of risk. So what we're seeing here is a picture of stability. So when we put all these clues together, the story becomes crystal clear. Tech Gadgets is a stable, profitable company that can easily pay its bills, and it's not taking on too much debt. The numbers are telling us that this business is built for the long haul. And look, this skill of reading a financial story, it isn't just for investors or CFOs. You can use it to understand the health of the company you work for, to check out a potential business partner, or even just to make smarter decisions with your own money. The big takeaway is this: once you learn to read the numbers, you start seeing the real story everywhere.